Andy, Edwin had a huge impact on scrum time, I think, in the last 10 minutes, to the naked eye anyway. Was it a tough decision, just from a rugby point of view, to take him out this week, given what he can bring to you, even though he's very inexperienced?
Well, we've got some good players who's obviously used to pushing in the scrum there in the second row. Look, yeah, any type of unit like Edwin is going to be quite dominant in that department. I suppose the occasion, when you're coming on as a newish player in a big game like that at Twickenham, are you going to have it in your legs in the last 10 minutes or not? That's obviously there's a difference there in that regard. But I suppose Joe McCarthy's big enough and strong enough, and we've certainly got a determined pack this week to make sure that area is attacked from us.
The decision to go 5-3 over 6-2. You just trying to talk through that.
Yeah, just the balance of where we think what we need. Game 3, how fresh the team is, or where it needs freshening up, and yeah, I think that balance is the right one for this game for us.
What mindset do you need going this week? Are you seeing it in the players to go for a big away win?
But you've heard me talk plenty of times about we've trained well, prepared well, and all that. You would expect that from an Irish team because that's how diligent they are. That's the type of lads that we've got. We've got good people who care about preparation and all of that, but you still got to go out there and deliver. We want to be a team that goes to places like this and fires a few shots. There's no doubt about that. We have to put our stamp on the game as well.
Okay, Jerry, Derek, then Simon, please.
Andy, where do you most want to see improvements?
You would always expect me to say across the board, but the obvious one is if you are just trying to get parity in the upfront battle, then you're not ambitious enough yourself. So we want to make sure that our set piece and the way that we go forward in general, as far as the gain line's concerned, both sides of the ball is pretty important against an English side that's very good at that. And also obviously the English thrive on the high ball situation and the lack of discipline from the opposition to kick you into the 22 and put you under pressure. So we need to make sure that our discipline and our collective plan, as far as the overall game, as far as the kicking game is concerned, as well, is pretty important.
Speaking of that, Scotland ran back an awful lot of England's kicks at Murrayfield last weekend. Is it something Ireland might look to emulate? We're not known for running back.
Yeah, well, I know. And then you look at the England selection, and they've picked a back row to do nothing but go after the ball there. So it swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Thanks. Simon, then Derek, please.
Andy, just in terms of that experience, how important was it to get Ty Furlong back for this game?
Yeah, I mean, you've heard me say many a times as far as players making the room feel right, and that experience enables Ty to say it as it is, and it allows people to get over themselves and give the best version of themselves because he's in the room, So he's certainly portrayed that this week, and you sense that he's certainly up for a big game because he knows what's needed to be able to go to Twickenham and come out with a victory, which is always going to be a hard task to do.
And Ty and Jameson were talking about the friendships they made on that Lions tour during the summer. What did you learn about England's players on that tour that can inform you for this weekend?
That they're good players. That's why they got picked in the first place for the Lions. I suppose mainly you get to find out more about the person themselves and what makes them tick and the type of character that they are. I suppose you would expect me to say that if they're getting selected for British and Irish Lions, then they tend to be pretty impressive people, like everyone was on that tour.
Derek?
Could you just maybe share a tiny bit about you're the top dog, you're a duty of care, and we have to speak to Sam about dropping out. And I know he can see for himself that Josh Van Fleer drops straight out and comes back. So there's a good example for him to look at. But if you could just share something with us about maybe that you talked to Sam about.
Well, just where he's at on his journey, and what it is that we need to chase down to make sure that we keep using all these experiences to push the career on. Like, you know, you look at every walk of life, or anyone who's successful in business or sport, and there's always learnings there to be addressed. And I suppose the most important thing, as far as that's concerned, is honesty, to make sure that we're able to address the right parts of the game. And the conversations that I've had with Sam this week gives me confidence that is going to happen.
Is he travelling?
He's not. He's not. He's going to get the weekend
The
off.
thing is, I thought the English media, who normally whining a lot about their team, didn't make a lot about the fact that they yellow cards, red cards, yellow. They played an awful lot of the game against Scotland, 14 men. Did you think that was any kind of a factor in that result, or?
I've no doubt. I've no doubt. It has to be, doesn't it? Playing with 14 men. You've got 15 against 14 is an advantage. There's no doubt about that. So it obviously plays a part in the game.
Oh,
Andy, I know this week used to be a week off in the Six Nations. You made 6 changes last week, 5 this week. Is this a new challenge, or is it just daily performance like the change?
Well, you navigate your way through it along the way. You don't know what's going to happen until you get to the point after last week's game and see where you're at as far as freshness, etc. But I suppose you manage week to week and you roll with it in that manner, really, rather than obviously you have plans and things like that, but they change accordingly to what happens in front of your face on a daily basis.
okay. Very last 2 questions, Michael, then Kieran.
Andy, I think two years ago Ireland were 13-point favourites going over to Twickenham, and they were underdogs coming into this game. Overall, does that suit the Irish psyche better? Did it have any effect, do you think, 2 years ago? And is it, to be played better as underdogs?
I don't want that to be the case at all, but I suppose human nature tells you that works for some people. But we want to be as good as we possibly can. We want to be able to deal with being favourites or not really. I suppose what I'm saying is that should be irrelevant if we're in the right frame of mind.
Final question, Kieran.
You brought Henry Pollock on the line to last summer before he even started the test game. What stood out to you about working with him up close?
Bit of a free spirit, backs himself, great lad, good fun. I suppose he's a bundle of energy, and I suppose that's what they're looking for as far as bringing him into the starting line, like we've done with a few as well.